Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and anyone in between. I am Kai'Chien Chisholm. Joining me is Juan Cardona. We're waiting on Michael Christian because
He's late.
now
He's a bum.
the joke has gone from Juan always being late to Michael Christian always being late. So Juan has been significantly on time
Yes.
weeks, and now
And
Mike
it's
becomes
and by the way, it's the Bill Parcells rule of on time, where if you're 5 minutes early, you're on time.
Kendall. I'm gonna send you this link right now.
Oh, slide, my boy, slide. Yeah, bro. And it's unfortunate, It's just Michael. What are we gonna do?
No helmet. The helmet is here.
That's for
It's with me. I don't know where I put it. Actually,
what is it?
Whoa, what happened to my voice? Wait, where is my helmet?
Cracking, boy.
That's a good question. I actually don't know where the helmet is. I can't even find it. Juan, why don't you quickly take over while I look for the helmet? See if we can find it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we got a very interesting matchup this week. The Tennessee Titans and our ex, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, in the worst case scenario, Ryan Tannehill actually has some type of a game.
Don't
You
even
gonna be
start.
salty? You gonna be salty?
Yeah, of
You think
course.
so?
It's Tannehill. We cannot have a bad game against Ryan Tannehill. Like, not at all.
I feel you.
It just can't. Like, it can't. That situation can't happen. I cannot. If we have a horrible defensive performance against Ryan Tannehill, I think I will be probably the most disappointed. And like, it's not even like, all right, whatever, playoffs is over. Like, I'd be disappointed just because we lost to Ryan Tannehill like that. Like, I'd be disappointed in that.
Man, I don't even care at this point. Like I've come to accept the way we're gonna win is gonna be
100%.
I don't even know, man. I feel like I like Tannehill. He left, and then that was it for me. Like I moved on.
I
Like
was a
I have
Tannehill supporter. I was.
I had his jersey. I had like 2 of his jerseys. I mean, yeah, I
So
was
did
2.
I.
I
I
could
got
say.
one of them when what's it called? Something Sporting Goods. It wasn't Dick Sporting Goods. Whatever the fuck it was. There was some company that went out of. They had bankruptcy, and I bought his jersey for $30 because they were going bankrupt. So it is what it is.
Mhm.
Anyways, let's talk about the inactives really quick as we have all the people with us. And we can go and see that your favorite player in the entire world is inactive once again. So Trill Williams is inactive.
That's with Noah still being out. It's just at this point, just like something personal. I think I don't know.
Sports Authority, yeah, it was Sports Authority when they were going out of business. So Trill Williams is still inactive. Savon Ahmed inactive once again. Darius Hodge inactive. Vince Beagle inactive. Cameron Tom and now Hunter Long. So Hunter Long inactive once again. I know before we started, you were very adamant that Hunter Long
I just commented that like I just don't,
a wasted pick. It's a wasted pick.
I don't
It's
know.
okay.
I can't,
For this year at least.
For this game at least. Yeah, this year, man.
Year.
I don't know, man. I don't understand. Like what was the point of like a third rounder just like when there were so many other needs, like a running back, a second wide receiver, like I don't know. It's interesting, right? I don't want to say it's frustrating just because it's not even really anything we could have done about it now. But it's just questionable at best. And Savon again, I think he's just been banished from the realm. I don't think he's been allowed to like wear a helmet anymore.
I think after watching both Duke Johnson and Philip Lindsay play and run harder, I'm still shocked on the Myles Gaskin thing. I think that Savon is a better runner than Myles, but I think that they just decided, all right, cool. It's the end of you, and then eventually probably the end of Myles as well.
Interesting.
That's just my. I mean, I feel like that is at least a pretty good. Like, I don't think that they want Savon or Myles. I know me and you have been on the kind of campaign, at least in the 5 reasons group chats, of getting rid of all of them, but it is an interesting situation to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just literally like it's just like it's a running back by committee, and it's like whoever wants to get the hot hand will get the hot hand. I advocated last week because I wanted Duke to get at least 15 carries a game. He's gotten 13, I think, last game, and I think also Lindsay. Did I say his name right? Lindsay.
Yeah.
There you go. He's almost a Hall of Famer, I guess. He also got 13 carries. So I see that balance where they're trying to figure out who could potentially take over and have like a hot game and, just ride him out throughout the rest of the game and maybe even the season. I don't know, man. It's that running back room looks like death. I've already said a couple times where I'm okay just resetting the whole room.
So quickly
You,
before we bring
my
anything
boy?
else in, this is what the weather is going to look like at least by 1 p.m. So as of right now, things are at least a little bit calm. But once it gets into that 1 p.m. territory, it is going to be rainy there in Nashville, Tennessee, up until pretty much the end of the game. So as it says here, set to be a cold and rainy game. It looks like that's what's going to happen in Nashville, Tennessee today. So we shall see what happens. As you can see here, it looks like there's going to be a mix of rain and snow around 3. So that should be an interesting game for the Dolphins. Kendall, first of all, I have to say your lighting is immaculate today.
Yes, sir. Got the windows open. It's a beautiful day in Miami. So why not?
The second thing is now the person who hates you the most joins as well. But
yeah,
Kendall, how are you feeling about today's game? Hunter Long inactive, Savon Ahmed inactive again, Trey Williams and some others, Darius Hodge. How are you feeling thus far, especially with those kind of inactives? Is there anything important there or not at all?
Nah, nothing important. I think it's interesting. I mean, Hunter has been playing like recently, so I guess they're like more comfortable with Shaheem. I guess he's like back fully healthy, so I guess they're going to be going with Mr. No Comply at the tight end spot. But other than that, nothing.
Michael, as you join us, how about yourself? How do you feel about the inactive list? Darius Hodge, Hunter Long, Savon Ahmed, Trey Williams, Cameron Tom, and another one.
I mean,
kind of did it off the top of my head. I'm proud of myself.
Kind of sucks seeing Hunter Long back on the inactive list. Not that he really did anything, but would have been nice to continue to give him chances. Although they're not going to do that. They're just going to wait till they don't pay Gesicki and then they just throw him into Gesicki's role and wonder why he hasn't acclimated to the NFL.
It takes tight ends a while. I'll play devil's advocate here.
Yeah, but what they're going to throw him into next year when they don't sign Gesicki.
I don't know if they'll throw him directly into it. I think it'll be more so a mix of Durham and Hunter.
And if Hunter like Gesicki has a role on this team.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a role. It's to just go run routes.
Yeah, Gesicki's a receiver, bro. He doesn't even play tight end.
I understand.
If y'all are fine losing Gesicki for nothing, that's fine. I think he's good and has a place on the team.
I do too, Michael. I don't think it would be for anything because as soon as he gets shipped out or they sign him to another deal from another team, they'll do like something with like I think it's like they always do some type of picks at the end where it's like depending on if you sign anybody.
The compensation picks?
Yeah, those motherfuckers.
Yeah, it depends on how much he gets signed with.
Like you're like with in English, the words you know are so vast, bro.
No, you should see me on like at the end of the night. I'm even worse.
I say like the most that the Dolphins would probably get from Mike Gesicki in compensation would probably be like a 2023 fourth rounder. Or maybe like a 2023.
If they give him enough money, I think it's a third.
It's a third.
Yeah, I think it's a third as well.
I'm saying it has to be like you'd have to have or give up.
If Dolphins don't sign him, he's getting a big deal somewhere else.
Yeah, he's getting the bag.
Because again, look, you've got the echelon, right?
We'll sit here next year and wonder how Gesicki
can be why he couldn't do that here.
1,400 yard, 12 TD type of player.
He's
not going to be a 14-yard.
But listen, he's the top of the next tier because you've got Kelsey, Kittle, and Mark Andrews. That's one. That's
TJ Hawkinson. I would say TJ Hawkinson.
Hawkinson's not in that group.
He's better than TJ.
He's better than TJ Hawkinson.
I think it's an argument that can be had.
I think it's Jared Goff doesn't know how to throw to wide receivers.
That doesn't mean that the actual tight end himself is bad.
I just think like if you get caught up in like who's a better tight end, TJ is a better tight end because you can put him into block. I don't look
Dawson
at I
Knox
don't
is
look
better.
I mean he's a
Dalton Schultz,
Bro,
Darren Waller.
Dalton Schultz is not better than Mike Gesicki.
yeah,
Dude.
you're living off that.
No.
that look,
Mike Gesicki
you
cannot
put,
block
you put,
well.
you put
but
Mike
come
on
Are
a
we?
team.
Let me
that
ask you a
uses
question.
him
Are
as a-
you?
as a-
Let me ask
as
you a
a-
question. Are you using Mike Gesicki as a tight end or a wide receiver? What do you
I'm
classify
using
him
Mike
as?
Gesicki the way you're
Are
going to use
you-
Mike
X
Gesicki.
weapon.
That's not what I asked.
Yeah, it definitely matters.
That's not what I asked. Is Mike
I don't think
Gesicki
it
a tight end
matters.
or a wide
I
receiver?
don't think it matters because you can put out
Yes,
two
it
tight
does.
ends and you can put one tight end
Can't
out.
believe I
at,
agree
like,
with Juan. I hate myself.
Like this
Is Mike Gesicki
this
a tight end
affinity
or a
to,
wide
like,
receiver?
You need to put him
He's
as
not
a
a wide
tight
receiver
end, and he
either.
has to block, bro.
So
no,
then what
he
is he?
doesn't.
Because if you're telling me he's a tight
He's
end,
Mike. He's Mike
He's a
Gesicki.
not a
weapon.
top
He's
10
a
tight end.
weapon.
He's Mike
He's a
Gesicki. What does it
weapon.
matter?
He's a weapon. Like okay, I'm mad because Waddle isn't a good, the best
No,
wide
we're
receiver.
fucking black people
He's
speaking.
a good weapon. You see him on third downs. You see him in playing running back. And what am I supposed to get mad about that? Because he can't go out there and beat Marshawn Lattimore 1-on-1.
My thing is,
I mean,
when it comes to Gesicki, I'm not paying him because more than Mark Andrews because he ain't better than Mark Andrews.
Nah, I think they solidly destroyed his value this year to where they'll offer him like a $6 million deal, and then he'll like settle for like 8 somewhere else, and he'll probably just try to match it here. All these players are gonna want to do 1 and 2 year deals just because, like, in 3 years the caps is gonna look just ridiculous.
Just for perspective, right now Mike Gesicki's market value is $11 million a year.
According to what? Spotrac?
Yeah.
Spotrac
and that's
had some
comparing
funny
to the
last
players that you guys are comparing him to. So if you're gonna compare him,
I like how we're comparing him to when before the season we're all hyped because he went to the tight end camp with Kittle and Kelsey, and now it's like no, Dalton Schultz. Let's just throw out every tight end out there. They're all better than Gesicki.
I'm just telling you, I wouldn't. This team is not going to invest $16 million into a tight end. Like, if you're going to sit here and say, "Well, let's go get Dalton Schultz or Dawson Knox," if they make it to free agency, like they don't value that position as we think it is. Like,
that's why it's going to be Durham Smythe, Hunter Long, and Adam Shaheen next year.
Yeah, I'm not
right. And then we're going to hate Hunter Long because Hunter Long won't be able to do anything, and we'll say, "Oh, it takes tight ends a long time."
I just think it'll just be a.
What do you think about Mike after his first year? The same thing.
That was different. That was more because Gase did what he
do. No, coming into the draft, Mike Gesicki was literally an athletic specimen, almost like Kyle Pitts, bro. Like,
don't even fucking start.
He doesn't have the lateral.
No. You brought in his Gator boy. You brought in his Gator boy. Now he's big man. Let's move on.
Really? Listen to Kendall then. Let the black.
Yeah. I'm a Canes. I'm a.
Oh yeah. Let's throw that.
I'm Canes, but bro, like to say he's Kyle Pitts, bro. Like,
no, I didn't say he's Kyle Pitts. I said coming out of the draft, 6'6", 4.54, like people were saying like, whoa, like Gesicki, he's that dude, and all of a sudden we got him blocking, and Adam Gase doesn't know what the fuck to do with him. But then it's like there's certain players that just work better in different systems. Like you look at Mike Gesicki when he was with Ryan Fitzpatrick last year, it was just a bunch of trust and balls that he does come down with.
Man, and Travis Kelce don't block nobody. And Travis Kelce gets all the money in the world.
One of the two tight ends that will actually block and
George Kittle, because that is a man's
and Mark Andrews. Like those are about the only two. The
rest
is
my
like
comparison.
The rest are because I mean, look, Darren Waller. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like Darren Waller is a big wide receiver. Like, what are we doing? Like
so what is Mike Gesicki?
But look at how they use him differently, bro. You go out there and Waller's getting 10 plus targets a game every single game.
Mike Gesicki gets 4 targets. He had a big day.
2 minutes left into the second quarter, and you see a short pass, and all of a sudden, oh, that's his first target.
Does anyone else want to do it, or you want me to do it? We're let Kendall do it. Kendall.
Wow, Ro's not here, so you give it to the only other guy.
And you would be the
Kendall. You're muted.
But oh shit! Hold on, I got music playing. And it's showing. Oh, look at that. Okay. Thank you, Cap for life. Don't know. Yo, it's me. Is it me or do we lead the league in red bone dudes with afros? Let go to you want to be the man. You gotta beat the Tanny man. Hashtag no excuses.
Well, hashtag space no excuses.
Yeah, but I know what you
hashtag.
think, so I'm not gonna comment on this. Fine.
Thank you, Cap.
Thank you, Cap. Michael's getting none of that $5.
What?
Michael's getting none of that $5 since you want.
That's fine. I don't need your money.
Well, no, Cap is right. I mean, Tua, it's on the platter for you, bro. Go take it. It's been on the platter for Tua since we were 1-4, to be honest, in my opinion. His play, we lost those 2 games, but he was playing nothing new. I mean,
hey, watch this. You want to know what's great? Boom. What's in timeout?
Oh,
so you ban another one?
Wow. Wow.
I could have put him in timeout before the comment got put up.
Wow.
All right. Well, yeah, back to what we were saying to address Cap's comment. I agree. Like, it was on the platter since Tua came back when we were 1-4. I said, hey, look, bro, like, you could turn this team around and we could start winning games because of you, because the offense was so poor under Brissett, and he definitely played well enough to win those 2 games against the Jags and the Falcons.
Now you blocked him?
I put him in timeout.
Now it says he was blocked.
For 5 minutes. That's a timeout.
You're a dickhead.
But yeah. Go help us win this game, bro. Go help us win this game.
Yeah, I think with Tua specifically, this is how it goes. It's like we have won games because he's done enough to win us games, but he hasn't been the reason why we've won games yet. Not really this season, right? Not a ton of them, right? I will say the Ravens game, I think he deserves a lot of credit because although the stats weren't really there, we could just see a big turnaround in the way the team was feeling. But again, that was really the defense.
More the crowd than the team, to be honest, personally.
Right, but the crowd got hyped because he came back in.
Yeah, I don't personally. I think the team was. I think we would have won that game whether he came in or not. I feel like the team, because the defense was ringing off the whole night. So, like,
I think that game was going to be close just because I think, look, Brissett wasn't moving the ball. I think all the Ravens needed.
Wait, are we talking about the Ravens game?
Yeah.
He wasn't moving the ball.
I don't think we were going to win the Ravens game without.
Like, all the Ravens needed was one touchdown drive, and it was going to feel insurmountable based on the way Brissett was playing.
No, I disagree. Because I mean, Brissett made one big throw to Ford. I mean, Tua made the 2 big throws, one to Waddle, where he had the best pocket he's ever had in his career as a Dolphin, and he hit Albert Wilson wide open. So, like, I don't want to sit here and like, I can't give him too much credit for that game, but following up every game since, like the Panthers game, I don't think the Panthers game goes that way if it's Brissett in there instead of Tua.
Yeah, I think the defense also played the defense has played a huge part in any game, right? So honestly, the defense is so good that expecting Tua to be the sole reason why we win a game, I think is a bit crazy because this defense is just too good. I think what we want to see, though, is we want to see him not put the defense in a bad situation, right? Let them be as advantaged as possible. Don't have the 3-and-out drives, right? At least get 30 yards. That way we can win field position, right? Try to get a field goal out of something. Give them a lead. Force the other team to throw and play right into our hands. I think Tua, again, he's done enough, but we all want to see better. And
I just feel like he's left a little bit out there.
No, yes.
The last three games he's left, like the Saints game, he missed Waddle wide open over the middle. He threw the pick. He underthrew Wilson against the Jets. And people say, oh, he didn't realize the coverage. Whatever it was, he didn't make the play. And he also, the one against the Giants, where he hit Waddle on an over route for like 25 yards. Like, he completed the pass, but if he leads Waddle towards the sideline, like, there was no one over there.
I think the thing that bothers all of us is I want him to play every drive like he just threw an interception.
Yeah,
that's what I want him to start doing, because there's something about the guy throws an interception. Somebody had the stats out there, and he comes out, and it's just lights out.
Yeah, I saw it too. I saw it on Twitter too. It is crazy.
I have no doubt in my mind if he throws a pick, he's going to come back the next drive and score a touchdown or at least get a field goal out of it. but I don't want it. It shouldn't get to that point. Now, I don't know if that's because after he throws an interception, they also get more aggressive in their play calling, maybe, but he can't keep playing up and down like that. Not against a team like the Titans and the Patriots. Not if we want to have a real shot at the playoffs.
Yeah, against two playoff teams.
I mean, what I still think that we're overhyping Mike Gesicki, but it's
I'm with you. But
you're the one that's stepping back there. We're off the subject. We're off somewhere else. You want to try to?
I just had to bring it back
bro.
because if anyone wondered, there is a poll you can vote on Twitter, or you can try to copy and paste that link, and you can vote on whether you think would you classify Mike Gesicki as a tight end or a wide receiver? And thus far, 71%. 69% say he is a tight end, and 30% say he is a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So there we are. So thus far,
Julio Jones is out today, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So who are their receivers today? They've got AJ Brown,
Westbrook Akina.
Yeah, Westbrook Akina isn't playing
Chester
okay.
Rogers, I think.
Okay.
I don't know anyone else after that.
I mean, AJ Brown has to get double teamed.
So they also have Chris Jones, Greg Mabbin, Derek Robertson, and Larrell Murchison on their inactive list. I don't know if any of those are too important,
but Luan is back, right? Because Luan was on COVID list.
Yeah, he's back. Both of their tackles are back.
I think so.
Man, last time Taylor Lewan played the Dolphins, though, dude got knocked out. It was hilarious. You guys remember that? I think it was Andre Branch that laid him out. It was one of Gase's. I think it was Gase's last season.
Like that, it had the rain delay. Wasn't that the last?
Yeah, it was the game that had the long rain delay, like three hours or something like that. So,
I think we've killed the Titans the last two times we played them. I think.
The last time we played them was that time with Tannehill, and then the time before that was Dan Campbell, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. 2015.
And we murdered them. So.
Let's stay the course.
I mean, listen, if they win this game, the hype going into week 18 is just, it's through the roof. Because at some point, we all have to have thought that the Dolphins were going to mess it up at some point. If any of us honestly sit here and say, oh, I knew they were going to make it all the way to the Patriots game undefeated, come on.
Taylor Lewan has a back injury. He was a full participant all week, but he did have a back injury. So that's just something, I guess, to note.
Okay.
So, just
what are you gonna say, Kendall?
I didn't think we were the only team that I was like, all right. That's why I said 4-0 is definitely gonna happen. That we're getting to 7-7. Mm-hmm. Like, just because basing it off of like Flores' teams, like besides the Jags game, I wouldn't even really throw the Falcons in there because at the end of the day, the Falcons are 7-8. Like
no, and that was the Falcons' only time that they really had like a full roster.
It was the only time that they were like fully healthy. Like haven't been many games where his teams have lost the teams that they shouldn't have lost to on paper. 1 and 2 coming into the season, we were like everyone was thinking, all right, if we get through those 5 games, 3 and 2, 2 and 3, that schedule is going to get easier after the Ravens game. And we played to our expectation against those teams. Like coming into the season, we didn't think the Panthers were better than us. We didn't go in there thinking, this year we might split with the Jets and Zach Wilson after we beat the crap out of them twice last year. Like there was no way that so for me, I never thought like, all right, we might slip up, especially when the Saints like got hit with COVID like crazy and Ian Book, Miami pick 6 on had to start. I was like, all right.
He threw the same pick 6.
The same pick 6 to his right.
Exact pick 6. It was to the right, out route. It was the slot corner, zooming through.
He probably never come here on vacation again.
He probably thought it was Trajan Bandy.
Yeah. But yeah, I never thought that we would slip up, to be honest. Like, I knew that the Saints game would be difficult just because their defensive line is hellacious, compared to our varsity college line that we have, they were going to make plays, so it was going to be difficult. But I never thought that for a second that we were going to lose.
I never had a specific game in mind that I was like, oh, they're for sure going to lose this one. Like after a certain point, I think it just got to like at a certain point, you expect things to kind of even out, right? And you expect the any given Sunday thing to happen. I mean, look, we just saw the Texans beat the Chargers. The Jets have beaten the Bengals. I think the Texans also beat the Titans.
Yeah, but I think that's credit to Flores.
Yeah, no. Like, listen, and I said this. Look, I said this the other night. I was very hard on Flores after 1-7, as I think he deserved to be, kind of torn apart for things that had happened because Tua wasn't there for 4 games. I mean, Tua wasn't there for 4 games, but there was plenty of games where he made some really awful decisions that aided in us losing, specifically that Jaguars game. There's a lot of things that went wrong. I think, man, a lot of those challenges and coaching decisions were just absolutely horrendous. Like that. I mean, the challenges were bad.
The punt, the touching of the punt challenge, I definitely understood it because it's like you just never know.
Yeah, but because you had just challenged the play before, you can't do it twice in a row like that.
Finger.
Hey,
yeah, I think it hit his finger too. I think it grazed his finger. So that I don't care what you did before, you don't pass up the opportunity to just I just think that's like playing scared to me, and like that's just not how I would want my coaches to go about it.
Which is something that he started doing this year that we hadn't noticed before, where he's not playing scared necessarily, but he starts playing very safe.
Yeah. Oh, well, with Brissett, he was against the Colts specifically, they were conservative as hell.
So it's been up and down for him. But on the ups, look, I think one thing that Brian Flores has done really well this week that a lot of people aren't giving him credit for is a lot of these quarterbacks that we've played, they're not very good, but they've also been really bad after they've played the Dolphins, because I think what's been happening is
we killed Lamar.
But just like how it used to be, where it was like, New England would play a team and then everybody would watch what Bill Belichick did to that offense and try to copy it themselves. I think teams are starting to do that with what Brian Flores has done to a lot of these teams and these offenses. And so Flores deserves a ton of credit. I mean, if they finish this thing through and they finish 10-7, I mean, all credit to Flores, really, because, the defense has played great, but
team could have quit on them, but they didn't. I mean, that Thursday night game, they really just seemed like they said, fuck it, and just we're going to just be who we are, or who we were last year. And
it just sucks that this is where we're at, right? It just sucks that any one game finishes differently earlier in the season, right? And we're not talking about a Titans game being a playoff 2 weeks before the playoffs actually start.
I think either way, if we would have got one of those Jags or Falcons games, I think we've still either this game would have been a playoff game or next week.
I think if we get the Jags game, I think winning this week is a clinching in.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, it will still be a playoff because if we,
but to me, playoff is like that one, right? You slip up, you lose that game, you're out.
I mean, we've been in the playoffs for 7 weeks.
Seven weeks now.
So it got to a point where I wasn't really too concerned, where is this team's focus, or how are they going to respond to success, because they've been on the edge since 1-7.
I think what I wasn't expecting, and I do have to give him credit for it, because part of the reason why I was ready to move on from Flores was I was expecting what was going to happen to him was what happened to every other coach that we've had, which is 2 years of kind of up and down play, right? You have your downs, you have your ups. You come into a third season, it goes really poorly, and the team gives up on you. Every time we've seen a Dolphins team start off a season as bad as this one did, that team gives up on the coach. I mean, we saw it with Gase, we saw it with Philbin, we saw it with Sperano. So the fact that this team didn't quit, I will say honestly, is surprising, because I just didn't expect it. I mean, it's hard to keep your head up high after starting 1-7. I don't know what Flores has done in those rooms to keep them composed and together and focused on what they need to do, but he did exactly that. And they love playing for him. So if they're going out there and playing well, I mean, I can't say anything bad about him.
Agreed. My boy Roy in the chat.
Sorry, I've been trying to look at some stuff around Taylor Lewan. He was taken off of the injury report, but there hasn't been anything official that he is going to play, at least from what I've seen.
But if he was a full participant, I think we would have heard by now that he's going to be in.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing solid. It's really, really weird. so I'm not sure. Juan, what's up, man?
What's good, bro?
You back?
Yeah. Who we talking shit about? Besides Michael.
Mike?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, actually, I was giving Brian Flores a bunch of praise just now.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, dude.
Yeah,
Full of shit.
he gave us flowers a little bit.
What?
A little bit, guy.
But Michael, he doesn't deserve that,
Michael,
right?
you know how much credit you have to give him after you said fire that man?
Hey, don't act like y'all weren't on the same boat.
Who?
Everybody here.
I said fire Flores?
You didn't. Royal did.
So you saying all black people the same?
No, but I'm saying you didn't
Because
say it
my
on the
boy-
show. I'm saying
Yeah,
you didn't say
Royal,
you didn't say it on this show because you weren't on the show yet.
And if I was on the show, I would have said
Nah,
no.
you would have said fire him.
Bro, no, there's no way I was saying fire them. Him or Greer, bro. Like it just wasn't happening.
You were never about fire and Greer?
Nah.
It's a lot of faith.
It's not faith, bro. It's just them my peoples. We don't get these opportunities.
Right. So is there ever a scenario in
my
which you
thing
would
is,
fire
look,
them?
if you can be patient with Tannehill for 7 years at the quarterback,
I wasn't. I gave up after
Right.
3.
after year 3.
Yeah.
All right, so this is year what? This is would be
3.
this is year 2 for me. That's how if you scrap everything on your roster,
Legit question though. Is there anything Brian Flores or Chris Greer could do that would make you want to fire them?
Yeah, if they come out and say they intentionally sabotaged the team to lose, then
Which they did in season 1.
Well, that
was the plan.
You feel that was
Okay, so
exactly
aside from literally sabotaging a team and then admitting it to the public, you're not firing them for anything.
Nah, fam. I ain't telling my people. I ain't never getting my people off of powerful positions. I'm not off them, brother. Like it ain't happening.
I gotta find me a Hispanic coach then that I can back like that for no reason.
I mean, why they gotta be Hispanic if Black Lives Matter?
I agree with you.
Just
Y'all really gonna get me in trouble on the show. All I need is one person that's gonna hire me to come watch this show, and I'm done.
How about from Mike Tomlin though, bro? No,
I don't. Okay.
Yo, honestly, I can't wait till Mike Tomlin gets fired. I don't know.
No, but legitimately, I
just want
I
to see
think
Pittsburgh fail. I love Mike Tomlin, but
no, I think he's stubborn. I will blame him for sticking with Ben.
oh yeah, that's
when I
right.
don't
Ron
think he
Rivera,
should.
you dumbass.
Oh, listen, yeah, Ron Rivera is my guy. I love him. Go football team. Love football team.
that's right.
Bobby McCain getting a targeting call in a random game, which is weird. What we're talking about, Mike Tomlin? Yeah, Mike Tomlin, I think, deserves to be at least talked about being fired for sticking with Ben Roethlisberger.
Bro, that you think that was just a
But
Mike
do you
Tomlin?
blame?
That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
If it was his decision, then he deserves. But I don't know if it was his, so that's why I'm holding off. But that's my only complaint about him.
No way that was just a
That's
Tomlin
awesome.
decision, man. And even if it was, what are you gonna do? Like,
True.
I mean, yes, someone said he's a Chico, but Cap said he's a Chico, but his skin is black, therefore it's a difference between ethnicity and race.
There really is. Yo, I legit never know how to answer that question.
It's 2022, man. Like we gotta get it together. It's a difference. The definitions are simple. But nah, Tomlin has never finished under 500. So like
that's why.
When would he ever be in position to get a quarterback?
Didn't they have a chance last year?
12-4 record?
They could have gotten Mac
No.
Jones.
At 12-4, you gonna spend money to go up and get Mac Jones?
Bro, white savior? What? Mac Jones?
Jesus Christ.
Did you see the Patriots didn't spend no picks to go up and get Mac Jones? We didn't spend no
I
picks.
don't think the Patriots are happy with Mac Jones, if I'm gonna be honest.
I think there was
It might
moves.
not be.
I think
but
there was moves they could have made. But yeah, no, I agree. Like Mike Tomlin has made the Steelers so consistently relevant, and they find a way. Like, listen, I feel like nobody finds wide receivers better than the Steelers.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah. They're
Like
the best.
every year they have one great wide receiver for like 2-3 years, then they let that receiver move on and they bring in another guy who's just as good, if not better. It
they
did
kind
the
of
same
slowed
thing.
down a little bit in terms of stars, but they still like Deontay is a very good receiver. I mean,
Yeah, but they had a run there where it was like, who was it?
there's Wallace and
They had Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown. Who's after?
and they hit a little rough spot with like Rodgers and
Juju. Claypool, I think, is decent, but he's had a rough time.
who?
Claypool.
Claypool's good,
I
but
think
he's
Claypool's
it's
He's
his
having a rough
personality.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's kind of
hanging out with Juju too much.
I don't even think it.
I don't blame Juju. I think it's Chase.
Yeah, it's
Hines
Chase.
Ward before.
It comes out when Chase like did the whole thing last year of like
Holmes.
I've never lost before, and then they lost. It's like or losing, never heard of her. Then they lost, and he goes, I still haven't lost in life because this, and this. And now every time they lose, people are going at him because it's like you're still losing.
Yeah.
And it's just I think it's like that point with Chase Claypool because I think Juju has his stuff, but I don't think Juju talks shit the way that Chase Claypool talks shit.
Juju just does
I think that
TikToks, man. Like
yeah. Like Chase Claypool, I think it's gotten to the point where people just don't like him because he's talking shit and not what he's talking shit to be.
Yeah,
he's talking shit as if he's like a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, and he's just not.
Yeah, Juju was like top 5 in jersey sales last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
I wanted Juju.
Don't get it twisted. The Pittsburgh area loves Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah,
so
and I think like him being on TikTok has a big thing to do with that too. Like you got to market yourself to some degree. Like,
listen, yeah, you don't know how long football is going to last because all it takes is one bad knee injury or one thing. Make your money when you can. Do what you got to do. I never had a problem with him doing any of that stuff.
Yeah, me neither. I don't even care about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and the Steelers only had 3 coaches in their history. Like,
yeah,
they're not just gonna be like, get rid of Mike Tomlin, like of all people.
The way that
I wonder what they would do.
Organization has always been good is so fascinating to me because I don't know what that's like from a football standpoint. I understand that in basketball, right? Because like I understand with the Heat because the Heat are so consistently relevant, but like the Steelers, that's crazy.
But basketball, I think it's so many games. I don't even like to compare it like football to basketball, like because I mean you got 81 games. You can go like 43 and like what 37 and be a 7 seed and be like, yeah, but we haven't missed the playoffs since 2004. Like,
yeah, that's true. Everybody makes the playoffs in basketball.
So
set the king.
All right, so getting to the game, and I guess we'll get into. There's not really much more to talk about, so I guess we'll get into just game predictions here and then wrap up. I'm gonna start with you, Kendall. I guess what I'm gonna do is give me, if you have the Dolphins winning, give me your MVP for the game. It can be on offense or defense. A player you expect to have an impact, offense or defense. Like it doesn't have to be the one that won us the game, but just an MVP impact player score prediction.
MVP. Well, the Dolphins are going to win. I think they're going to win 24-16.
That's pretty comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, 1-score game. Give them some respect. I think the MVP of the game will be, I'm going to say Zach Sealer. Because Tannehill dances. Tannehill doesn't deal with pressure well. Zach's been playing real well, and I think if he gets pressure up the middle, he won't get sacks. But like Agba and AVG and Phillips, they'll get sacks off of like his pressure up the middle. And the guy who will make an impact, Devontae Parker, because Gotsi came out after the last game and was like, "Oh, we got to do a better job getting him involved." And the man didn't even get a target last game, like officially at least on the stat sheet. So I think Devontae, because I think we're gonna have to throw the ball to beat them a little bit because their secondary isn't that good and they can stop the run. So those are the people for me.
Mike,
I'm gonna say Dolphins win. Let's go. Dolphins win 21-13. Right.
Okay.
Basically the same score as him, just 3 points less for each team. MVP. I'm gonna go ahead and say X. Just because I think X is gonna have. Like, whereas a lot of other teams don't like to target X, like they watch where he is and they just don't go that way. I think every time he's on AJ Brown, I mean, they just have nobody else to throw to that's as good as AJ Brown, right? That's where Tannehill's going to want to go. So I'm thinking he should have a good time there. AJ is going to have his moments, but I think X will have more and he'll win more of the matchup. So I'm going to say him as MVP. And then you said impact player or breakout player?
Yeah, impact player.
Like
someone that wasn't the reason they won, but someone that like we Dolphins fans would be talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Phillip Lindsay. I love my boy Duke Johnson. I do, but I think Phillip Lindsay actually has a sneaky good day, right? I don't think he's gonna have over 100 yards or anything. But I think he maybe rattles off maybe like 60 yards on only like 10 carries or so. And he has some solid blocks in the backfield that really keep Tua clean against the defensive line that knows how to get after the quarterback. So, yeah, I'm going to say Phillip Lindsay.
All right. For me, I'm actually going to agree with Michael Rodriguez down here in the comments. He put 20-17. That's where I was kind of leaning. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. I think with the rain and everything like that, I think eventually early on in the game before the rain or snow comes into play, I think we will have some scores. I just think it's going to come down to a 3-point game, or maybe it's like 20-10 or 17-13 and like however it goes. But I think eventually it'll probably be around that realm of 20-17 game. I think the Dolphins will win. As far as an impact player, I don't want to steal Zach Sealer. I know you said MVP for him, but Zach Sealer is kind of what I thought about, but I want to steal it. I'm going to go with Jalen Phillips. I'll say Jalen Phillips is an impact player. I think that just naming anyone on the defensive line is going to be that wave because they're just going to go after Tannehill. And we all know that Tannehill does not sense pressure in the pocket very well. And he's extremely skittish. And we saw it for 7 years. As much as we loved him, as much as we thought he was an Iron Man, we know what Tannehill is. And I think that's just plain obvious. MVP, I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with Tua. I'm gonna put faith in the quarterback, and I'm gonna say.
I like
Tua.
how me and Kendall are wearing the jerseys, and you the best even mentioned his name.
I mean,
I'm gonna go with Tua.
Like, let me go because it's gonna be the defense. I feel like that was like as much.
I feel like whatever the score is, whether it's like let's say 20-10, and then eventually the Titans go down and they score a touchdown, onside kick fails, whatever, or if it's 17-13, I feel like that last dagger to put the Dolphins in the lead will come at the hands of Tua, and I think it's going to be because he let a drive down the field. Like, that's just how I feel. And if not, I do agree with how a lot of people were saying earlier, this needs to be like this game and the next game. I understand that the defense has been the MO and that Tua is still developing, but I need to see Tua be the reason for at least one of these games. It can't just be interception, Hall of Famer, and a drive.
Or at the very least, don't put the defense in
horrible positions.
Yeah.
You can be 80%, 200 yards, a touchdown. I'm chill with that.
Just don't put them in a spot. Let them do their thing.
During the streak, like because of him, there's been like 17 points scored. Like they were all by the Jets because of his picks. Like points off turnovers. Like that would have took like defensive average like points per game down to like 9.7 or something like that. So I just wanted like, bro, like his second start was the Cardinals game, bro. And that's when it was just like, all right, he just needs to, he doesn't have to do that for a game, but it feels like it's going to come like a few moments where it's just going to have to be him. Like he's going to have to make a big.
You also gotta
and that's huge in his development, like just for the future of his development, even not having a Cardinals game, but at least having a moment or two. That's where it's like building his confidence and within himself. I'm sure he's confident within himself anyways, but like the confidence to say, oh, I can, like the Durham Smythe throw last week. It's like, oh, I can make that throw, but I can make that throw consistently. I don't have to second guess it. I don't have to, fake the pump and then go for the throw. I can make that first initial read.
I mean, I'll just play a little bit of the other side of it here, though, is I think he does need to step up. And I think he has opportunities to do that. And sometimes he just doesn't take it. I also think he doesn't get as many opportunities as a lot of other quarterbacks, because I think they play so conservatively, knowing that the defense is so good, right? They play so much of, like we said it here, even, right? Like, don't mess up. Don't put the defense in a bad spot. Don't put the defense in a bad spot. She's like, let me just do what I know is for sure going to work. At some point, he has to start making those really risky throws and actually completing them more often than he's throwing interceptions. And he is doing that already. It's just when those interceptions come, they seem to come at the worst possible time, right? Like they just scored a touchdown. We just need one drive to kind of put it away and he throws a pick. Or we just need one better thing and he threw the pick six against the Jets, right? So
or we're up 10-0, 13-0 or something like that. Or
right.
13
I want
the touchdown will ice it.
I want the coordinators, I want Godsey to give him the same play calls and drives that they do on the first drive and in the fourth quarter. right? Because something about those moments, it looks completely different. Now, if it's 100% Tua, then yeah, I mean, guy, you got to be better than that. But I also think sometimes the play calling, like they'll run it 2 straight downs, and then Tua's dealing with a 3rd and 9 because we gained 1 yard off of those 2 plays. So I think that has to give a little bit as well.
Yep.
Also, sorry, I just got to say, we got to talk about Waddle for a second. Boy's about to break the record.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
He's
cool.
6 receptions away. Do
Kendall
we
doesn't
care? Do we care? I mean, he has under 1,000 yards. It kind of sucks. But do we care if he gets like 5 catches today and doesn't break it, and then next week he breaks it? Are we going to be those who say, well, Anquan did it in 16?
He missed the game.
Who? Anquan did?
No, Waddle missed.
Oh, well, Jalen, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he missed
true.
the first game, so it's 16-16. I'm not gonna be saying it. I don't care because I don't want it just to be Waddle or bust. Like, I can give credit to Godsey for like being creative as hell with him against a good Saints defense, but I can also be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, where is this for like Devontae?
Where's like the Mac Hollins throws? Where is it?
No,
for Jalen?
I will say though, I don't think Devontae could get as open as Jalen does.
Well, that's exactly why I say coaching. Let's scheme them up a little bit.
Just to update this, weather in Tennessee looks like it's going to rain and or snow by like 2 p.m. over there.
Yeah, if my boy's got bad hands in the rain, that does not bode well for South Florida.
I actually think it helps Waddle. Like,
I don't know. I don't actually know.
Yeah, if the defense doesn't know where the receivers are going, well, they don't know where the receivers are going. I mean, and with bad conditions and throwing short, I think that's our offense. It actually helps us as well because, I mean, you're not like we're not a push the ball down the field offense. So,
right.
Like, it's not like the weather affects Tua too much, like to make the same type of throws that he makes on a regular basis.
But you don't care about the record? I want him to get it. I'll be
yeah, I care in the sense of like, I want him to get it, but I don't care if he gets it today. Cap for life. Thank you for the $5 dono. When we win this game, I like the confidence. The kid will get his respect in the elements on the road. What more could you ask for besides playoff?
I think that's about Tua specifically.
Yeah, you don't just get the respect for wins.
Thank you, Cap.
Yes, thank you, Cap. We appreciate it. Because wins are not a quarterback stat. Like, if we win the next 2 games 13-7, bro, like, you're not sitting here like pumping up Tua just because they won the game and he just game managed and hopefully didn't turn the ball over. Like, because then make us Jimmy G like fans per se. Like,
I agree with you that I'm not going to sit here touting him up if we win these games, 13-7, and it's because the Dolphins got a pick 6 or something, right? Like, that's going to be disappointing. And I think that's part of what happened last week against the Saints was it didn't feel like enough.
It would have been 3-3 at halftime. So
I will say, though, you look at a lot of the early quarterbacks, and again, I think this is part of the coaching too. I think they're like, look, just be a game manager for now. We'll have you be a gunslinger who wins the games, high-scoring games later. For now, be a game manager. Don't lose us the game, right? So I think I really do think that's a big part of it. But again, it's true, right? Like, we can't have 3 straight 3-and-out drives and expect the defense to really show out every time. It's just a matter of them playing complementary football.
Mm-hmm.
Completely agree. All right. Do we have anyone saying any final statements as we get ready to get into this game?
Let's make it 8.
I think you're going to do the thing.
I'm not going to, I swear.
Tannehill is going to get sacked 10 times.
10?
No, legit, I'm going to say 7. I think they get close to last week. I think they do 7. That guy can't manage the pocket. Listen, have you guys gone back and watched Tannehill footage? I forgot how bad he was at
Kendall
just
sent me a
feeling the
picture
pressure.
in my DMs last week. That shit was funny as fuck.
Kendall. What is it you said?
I didn't say anything, bro.
You didn't say anything?
Can I show it? Can I show it?
If the people weren't here for it live, they need to tune in, man. Look, that's how we keep coming back. You missed it. Go look for it, motherfucker.
Oh wait,
my
and
God.
next week we're doing a show. Are we doing a show? We're not doing a show.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Next week for the Dolphins game for pregame.
I'm not. Are we going for sure? I don't know if we're going for sure.
We might be going to the game.
Like the time and stuff tonight. Like, they usually announce it after like the final like Sunday night game.
Well, it's because we might be.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
and they
game,
might
so.
flex. We might be at the game. We're not sure.
Because
though.
you're going, right? Aren't you, Kendall?
If they win today, I'm gonna go.
That's me too. Anakin. I'm good, dude. Tannehill 7 sacks.
Tannehill 7 sacks.
We brought it down to 3. We brought it down 3.
Hey, you don't screw you.
All
10
right.
sacks. Let's go.
If we get 10, that means we're up like 30. That means Tua is having a hell of a game. That's what that tells me. Like, so I'm for it because
Listen,
have to
also
throw that much. Like that means Tua's slinging the ball. Like
I feel like it just takes one broken tackle, right? Get us one slant pass that somebody takes to the house, please, just once. Anybody. I don't care who it is. It could be Durham Smythe for all I care.
you mean Waddle.
He's the only one that can do it, but
Exactly.
yeah. Oh, Duke Johnson, my boy.
Albert Wilson too.
No, bro, he's gotten so slow.
Albert Wilson can't run for first downs, bro.
Yeah, I mean everybody's gonna take that one play and
He might
blow it
get
up.
to the end zone and then run all the way back just to make it a 9-yard
Why?
game.
Because the man tried to make. He did get greedy. That's where he fucked up. He got greedy on the 3rd down. If it was 2nd and 8, it wouldn't even matter. No, I don't think he would care.
No, he's done it on a couple 2nd downs, and then we don't convert the 3rd down.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that, Zach. Sunday Night Football, we all agreed is kind of doubtful for the Dolphins and Patriots, unless the Patriots lose today.
Or the Bills end up losing today, because then that becomes if the Bills don't win
Against the Jets.
it just becomes important. Yeah, it just becomes important.
Oh, hey,
So-
appreciate you, Rish.
Checking in from Facebook.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, that's the first time I've ever seen someone comment on the Facebook. So
Yeah, it's dope. Dolphins
you.
win. We got a clean sweep here. I think Juan picked the Titans. He's not here, so I'll say he
No.
picked the Titans. So
I hope the national.
All right. We out.
Is that
Right.
the one?
I hope so.
No,